we going to record now?
We're recording the podcast right now.
We are recording. We are live, everybody. Well, we're not live.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. Today's podcast.
We're more like Memorex. You tried to cut my intro off.
What?
You fucking did it. So
No,
this motherfucker right here, he told me that I could do the intro this week because he'd done it for the past 2 weeks.
He looked kind of tentative about it. I don't think he really knew what he wanted to say.
It's my time now, goddammit. So, welcome everybody to the Console Killers podcast. This is James Murray here.
This is Greg Lambert.
And we are happy to have you, all three of our listeners. And hopefully there'll soon be more.
Yeah.
But a lot of things have happened in the past 3 or 4 weeks. We've been kind of waiting before we put out our next episode. And it's basically due to everything that's just been going on in video games and movies and holy shit, everything's been going on for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, and we've got a new microphone too, so it may sound a little bit different on this one, but hopefully we'll have a higher quality one, coming in the mail pretty soon. As soon as I sell some games or something, I can get that Meteor mic.
Yeah, if Tommy will let us have it.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today, James?
So we're going to cover a lot of topics, obviously, on this podcast, kind of make up for lost time and get caught back up, but going to be talking obviously about our different movies that's come out and some new announcements, brand new announcement today. But we're going to talk about Jurassic World. In case you haven't heard enough about that, we're definitely going to touch on that. Got the world's largest Jurassic Park fan sitting right here next to me.
That's true.
We're also going to talk about the recent Spider-Man announcement. Then going on to video game news, we're definitely going to talk about E3 and some of the whining and bitching and carrying on about winners and losers. The recent Shenmue announcement and your recent rage about Doom 4 they got announced, and then other video games and news that we were discussing, different about the old neighborhood kid rumors and a couple things, some of the games that we've been playing and some that we've been waiting to play.
Yeah.
But then also obviously the find of the week, and then we're also going to talk about obviously our beer of the week because that's our fucking thing, and fuck anybody else that does that. So obviously, since I finally got to go see Jurassic World, you got to see it opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw it in IMAX. No, I saw it in Limax.
Limax.
You know what that is, right?
I have no idea what is it.
You know what IMAX is, right?
Sure.
So there's a Limax, which is a lie. It's not really. It's fake IMAX, and they market it as IMAX, and it has the IMAX logo.
Is that $30 ticket?
It's like 22, I think.
God
and you get 3D glasses, and you line up ahead of time, and it's like, oh, IMAX. And you get in there, and it is a bigger screen, but it's not a fucking IMAX screen. It's a lie. That's why it's called IMAX.
Is it because of a lie or the line that you have to wait in?
No, it's a lie.
It's a blatant fucking lie.
It's a blatant lie. It's like you get in there, so IMAX is supposed to fill the entire room, like you're actually elevated off the floor, like 20 feet.
Holy shit.
In IMAX, and the screen goes all the way to the floor.
Okay.
So you're sitting in the middle of like space, and your field of vision is filled up with screen.
Okay.
That's what real IMAX is.
I've never been to IMAX.
Yeah, Mall of Georgia has that.
Huh.
But the mall we went to, which was North Point Mall or someplace like that, had IMAX, and it was just a slightly bigger screen. So I'm like, damn it.
Does it advertise IMAX?
It advertises it as IMAX.
Wow.
But it's not the real thing. It's just a bigger screen.
So you got fucked, basically.
Yeah, a little disappointed in the presentation, but I wasn't disappointed in the movie. And I remember seeing the movie and telling you about it, and you're like, I know like 8 people and they said it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, James.
Yeah, those are some haters that I was running into. But I'm a fan of the original, so I want the suspension of disbelief that it will never get better than part 1, because I fucking hate part 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So I was real reserved about going and watching that fucking movie. But after your tremendously rave fucking review that you gave it...
I didn't think I gave it a rave review. I said the first half was a little slow, but the second half was amazing. You
said the first half is slow, and I was like, alright, designate this half. And you said up until the point that Pratt is fucking around with the raptors. That is like 10 minutes into the fucking movie. That is like 10 minutes in. Really. You get past the cheesy intro, and then essentially it moves to Chris Pratt. Yeah. So 10, 15 minutes in there. But all in all, how many stars out of 10? How many think?
3. Oh, out of 10?
Yeah.
Solid 8 out of 10.
Solid
8,
I would
maybe
agree.
an 8.5.
Did you see the ending coming?
No, not the ending.
Yeah.
I saw the final act kind of coming a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, alright. So we're in spoiler central now, so if you're one of the people in America that hasn't seen it, then I don't know what you're doing. But
yeah.
At the end, though, what did you think about the T-Rex fight?
You know, I didn't see the T-Rex coming. And I'm wondering, was that supposed to be the T-Rex from Part 1?
Yeah, that's the same one.
Interesting. So I'm going to have to watch it again for the third
time.
Yeah.
You can even see like some scars or whatever on the side of its face.
Alright, I'm definitely going to watch it for a third time then, because I did see it twice this weekend. Well, I saw half of it twice this weekend, but and I'll address that in a minute. But, so, when it got to that point where the kid, and I forget the kid's name, he was like, he was counting the teeth, and he's like, we need more teeth, and I was like, they're going to feed it to the fucking, like, Mesiothelsaurus, or whatever's in the fucking the water. Yeah. I immediately was like, they're fucking going to feed it that somehow. They're going to bait it up. I did not see a fucking final fight coming between him and a T-Rex, for sure. Or much less him and a T-Rex and fucking Blue. Yeah. But I definitely saw the huge gator fucking dinosaur coming.
I like when he smashes through the Spinosaurus skeleton. It's just like a big fuck you to Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
Which had the worst fight of all time. But yeah, that was a great final act to that movie. But I think it's funny you mentioned you don't even remember the kid's name.
Yeah, I don't remember the kid.
You remember the kid's in the first one's name.
No.
You know, Lexington.
B12, bro. I got
you got that problem?
I'm working on the B12. I have no short-term memory.
That's a problem with Jurassic World. I don't think it's a classic by any means.
No.
Not like the first one. It's entertaining. It's like the Godzilla 2014 to me.
Sure.
It's really good, and it has a good build-up to the final act, which is amazing.
And it's an acceptable sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acceptable sequel, but I don't think it's an all-time classic. Like, who's going to remember the names of the kids? In fact, I thought the kids were kind of unnecessary, to be honest.
Right. You know, and to be fair, as much as, you know, as I fucking love Chris Pratt, I don't remember the name of his character, but I remember the name of the Raptors. You know, I remember, you know, Blue, and I remember Delta, and, you know, I remember the Raptors. That's what stuck with me. You know, those characters, of all the characters, stuck with me.
The Raptors were the best characters in the movie.
They really fucking were. The Raptors stole the show. And even was it Indominus Rex?
Yeah.
I thought that was a brilliant idea. And I get, you had mentioned the Asian, you know, the guy behind all
Dr. Wu.
I put that together when I was watching. I didn't get it at first, but then, this was the guy that engineered, you know, the ones in Part 1, and I liked that. And I liked that there was just casual throwbacks to Part 1. Yeah. There wasn't this happened, and now because this happened, this is happening. None of that shit. It was a brand new story with a new set of characters that...
They almost ignored the second and third movie.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense because those took place on a totally different island.
Right. Right.
I did think that Vince D'Onofrio's character and that his whole military story arc was very cheesy. It was like something out of like a 1970s like Marvel comic. It was very like stereotypical. Yeah. It's like, we're gonna turn them into weapons. Haha!
Our time
Try
is
and
now.
Stop me, Spider-Man.
You knew when you came on. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't like that. I do like Vince D'Onofrio. I did not like that character.
Yeah.
It was too much fucking cheese for me.
He got his shit ruined though, pretty good.
Oh yeah, he was absolutely fucking destroyed by the end of that movie.
He didn't mess around.
I'm interested to see if they're planning on doing another sequel, just to kind of, because it's definitely left open for another sequel.
Chris Pratt has signed on for 3 more.
That's too many. That's too many.
That's what he's told, like Variety, and he could be exaggerating, but we know there's at least a couple more.
So
what the hell are they gonna do?
Sure. I don't know. I mean, they got everybody off the fucking island. And, what's left of the dinosaurs are still there.
Yeah,
and
it can't be a park anymore.
No, and then Wu took all the shit somewhere else, so it can't be. And it would make no sense to bring Chris Pratt back for another sequel, because his story is concluded. Like, what more of a story could you tell with him?
Well, I guess if... Now, here's the plot that I have built up in my mind. So, they're trying to get the government... Dr. Wu has sold the government the DNA of the embryos or whatever.
Right.
And all the information about how to make the super weapon dinosaur.
Right.
Which, you know, I thought there was some good
yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
dialogue with the CEO where he's like, why the hell does it need to avoid thermal technology?
Right.
Why did you do that? He's like getting pissed about it. It's
Right.
like, well, secretly that's because he made it a weapon.
Right.
Which makes sense. But I guess they'll flesh that out more in the sequel. So I'm thinking that there's going to be some branch of the military that's like a black ops type of thing that's trying to do something with that. And I guess maybe like the CIA is going to bring in Chris Pratt because he's the main witness to the whole thing, and like try and like get him to spill the beans or whatever. I don't know. How are they going to do it?
That sounds like the only logical direction. But I wouldn't watch that movie. I don't know that I would pay movie to go see that movie.
See, what I think it's going to be like is, do you remember Predator 2?
Yeah. That was
with Danny Glover.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's going to be like. Because Predator 1 was amazing with Arnold. At the end,
get to the chopper.
Yeah, I can do that chopper.
Yeah,
Arnold has won at the end. He goes off in the helicopter. He's like the last survivor with the girl.
Right.
But then in Predator 2, you know, it turns out that like the government or whatever has been like watching the predators the whole time, and they want to try and like capture one or whatever.
I gotta go back and watch it again.
Yeah, but I think that's what it's gonna kind of be like.
But that was a logical direction to go because, like, if you remember in part 1, when the mothership, there's the one scene from outside of Earth when they drop the ship, you see the mothership like spit off Predator's like pod or whatever. It's like, okay, this is the pod. This is the only logical direction to go. Is there was this ship full of these things, obviously. That makes sense, but like I don't know. Maybe it's just
I don't know, and that's why I think this is a good comparison because the first Predator took place in the jungle. Right. Jurassic Park, we've seen the jungle. We've seen it 4 times now. The tropical jungle setting. But then Predator 2 came and it was in the city.
Do we want to see dinosaurs in the city?
No.
No.
I don't think so. But I think that's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be like the concrete jungle.
It's going to be bad.
You know, it's going to be questionable.
Womp, womp, womp.
How can they do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have to see. We'll get some leaks pretty soon.
Yeah, and I imagine that they'll get started filming on that really quickly. But I've seen it twice this weekend, actually, and I only had to pay once. And I got my money back, so I got to see it for free, basically.
Power went out?
Yeah, we were an hour and a half into it, and it was right after the scene where Pratt and I forget her name, but they get out of the Jeep and they find the Brontosaurus is dying.
Yeah.
And I think that's the Brontosaurus. But they're, you know, he's coddling it or whatever, and it died. And as soon as it died, the power went out in the entire theater. And the thing about the power going out is I already had reservations about going to the theater anyway, even though I frequent it because of all the bullshit that takes place in theaters now, apparently, because like the past 5 or 6 years. And when we first sat down in the theater, there was a lady with a fucking camera, like, taking pictures of some people, so I kept seeing flashes back here, and it was freaking me the fuck out.
Shit.
Yeah, so when I realized what it was, I was like, oh, it's somebody being fucking retarded. So we watched, you know, hour and a half of the movie, power goes out, and then the lady comes by and says, hey, guys, there's a awful storm that's coming over. It's caused our power to, you know, flicker and go out. Obviously, the movie's not playing now. It started back up immediately with audio. But there was no video at all. And it's just going to take at least 15, 20 minutes to get this thing completely back up. And if you want to continue watching it, you definitely can. We're not going to stop you. And everybody was like, well, are you going to, you know, like back it up a little bit so we can actually like get caught up visually? And she's like, no, we can't do that because we have a schedule to adhere to. If you don't want to watch it, though, you know, come back to the concession stand. We'll give you a refund. So everybody, well, I say 90% of the theater obviously went back for a refund. And not only did they give us a refund, but they give us free tickets to see another movie. It was like an emergency ticket.
All right.
Yeah, so I was completely happy with that because I spent like $25 on concessions because I took the whole family. And so we got the money back, and then we went back to the 7 o'clock showing, and obviously got to see the whole thing then. But while I was there, and you know, now that we're talking about the topics of movies, did you see the preview for The Martian with Matt Damon?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I haven't read the book.
Oh, it's a book.
Yeah, it was a very popular book, and it was popular because it was extremely scientific, apparently. Like, it was written by some guy that actually worked for NASA. And so it's filled with all kinds of technical jargon, and everything is very realistic in the book.
Okay.
So knowing that, I know that. So when I saw the trailer, I'm like, well, it looks good, but I'm afraid they're going to dumb down a lot of the science stuff, which they have to do.
Right.
Because it's very dry. So I think it's going to be another, maybe a Sunshine or like an Interstellar or one of those type of movies, but it's going to be good.
It's got Matt Damon in it, though. I'm a huge Matt Damon fan. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I really want to see it, especially after seeing the trailer twice now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can get behind this because I like Matt Damon as an actor, obviously, but.
Yeah, but he's also they announced he's gonna be in the new Bourne. There's another one.
They're doing another
back.
Bourne movie.
Another one with Matt Damon.
That's interesting. After they went with who was the guy that played the additional Bourne? There was another Bourne movie after he stopped playing Bourne, right?
Yeah, with Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. So
and
they're not.
It was Jeremy Renner was dumb.
Was it bad?
Did you ever see it? You would have absolutely no clue what the hell was going on if you had not just seen the Bourne Supremacy. Because the one with Jeremy Renner takes place between the Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne Ultimatum. Like it's like a side story.
Goddamn side story movies.
So there's no way.
Like,
I actually saw it in the theater, and even I was kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, they're directly referencing, like, what's happening in the Bourne Supremacy. And I'm, like, trying to rack my brain because I hadn't seen it in, like, 5 years. I'm like, what the hell is... And they're, like, referencing characters and, like, situations. Like, that's weird. Why would they make a movie like that?
See, for me, too, and maybe this kind of is why I didn't see it in the theater, is I am super conservative with my theater money because it costs so much money to go to the theater now. I will not pay money to see a movie in the theater unless it is something that I am sure enough, hardcore fan of or want to see in the theater. Otherwise, it's getting the fucking dollar theater, or it's getting, a stream online at home.
And, I mean, we just spend too much money anyway at the theater. Everyone knows that. But, I mean, Jurassic World broke 2 records.
God damn.
It broke the highest gross on any weekend ever.
Right.
And it was the fastest movie to $1 billion this week.
Chris Pratt, you can enjoy that until December, sir.
Oh, 3 records, actually. It also broke the highest Tuesday of all time, beating The Dark Knight.
Okay, well, you can continue enjoying that record, sir. But there's other 2.
They're
coming. December, it's going to be done. I don't fucking care. You can mark my words. Star Wars is going to cripple that fucking record, dude.
Star Wars could destroy it, but we haven't seen a real good trailer yet.
Yeah, but they did release, there were some leaked photos that were released that Disney demanded be removed, and it was some leaked photos of Leia. There was a Photoshop picture of Mark Hamill. I don't know if you've seen that, but they're bringing back Admiral Akbar.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm pretty happy about that. Hopefully it was not a trap. Yeah. And these were real, real set photos.
Disney set that trap.
Yeah, Disney set that trap. But
they wanted to catch leakers.
Leakers? Yeah. Well.
But I don't know. The new Star Wars is going to be insane.
I'm so fucking excited. Like each day that gets closer, like 100 and something days left of fucking Star Wars.
But with enough time, like we haven't seen a whole lot of the rest of the movie, which is great. I don't want it to be spoiled. But I'm kind of thinking in the back of my mind, okay, there was a lot of leaked scripts and crap and rumors years and years ago. For years now, they've been leaking shit.
The Super Shadow guy. Did you ever hear about him?
Uh-uh.
Oh, shit. You haven't heard about Super Shadow?
Well, I don't know about the Super Shadow, but I do know that somebody leaked like the whole script, and apparently, like, Luke Skywalker was supposedly not even in the movie, but for like 10 minutes.
Oh, shit, dude. That you're talking about the same thing I was thinking of. So, there's this guy... And I'm not trying to plug this asshole, but it's so fucking retarded. I can't help it. Yeah. There was this guy that goes by the moniker Super Shadow online.
Yeah.
Google this guy, Super Shadow Star Wars. And 10 years ago, I want to say 10 years ago, like right after, or no, more than that, after Episode 1 came out, everybody was talking about, oh, well, Episode 1, 2, and 3 is coming out. What about 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9? And then Lucas was... firm in the fact that there was never going to be a 7, 8, and 9. The story of Anakin Skywalker is what the Star Wars universe is about. It's about Anakin and his redemption and how it affects his son and daughter. That was his story. His story is told, or will be told, and will be complete. So this motherfucker named Super Shadow, he was supposedly a disgruntled employee of Lucasfilm.
I remember that.
And he released these shitty fucking scripts, dude. Oh my god, they were so bad. And they basically played on the post-Jedi era, where there was Vader clones and there was Palpatine clones. And,
yeah, stuff from the expanded universe.
Yeah, but they were legit. Like, he knew how to write a fucking script, and he put them up there, and he was like putting up monthly updates. This is the new shit. And then all of a sudden he started talking about Indiana Jones 4 long before Shia LaBeouf was ever brought into that shit.
Right.
And definitely, I don't want to say check out his website to give him numbers, but definitely look into him.
Well, you know, one of the scripts I looked at, one of the spoilers, as I mentioned, said that Luke Skywalker's only in it for 10 minutes and he's been in exile this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very end, like, he comes back or whatever, like, for 5 minutes. And I think maybe there could be some credence to that.
Yeah.
Because the only hint of Luke that we've seen so far was in the teaser trailer, where he's kind of got the hood on and he, like, touches R2-D2 or whatever, and there's like a fire, like a campfire. Right. So I'm thinking maybe he's on Dagobah, or maybe he's in exile. Maybe that's true. Yeah. So, you know, obviously the guy's a dumbass.
Right. God damn, it's so funny, dude.
But that would be funny if that did turn out to be true, and also kind of sad, because everyone wants to see Luke Skywalker. Yeah. That's what people are expecting when they're coming back to see Star Wars.
And Hamill looks good, man. He looks really good. He cleaned up. He lost weight. There was, I know you know that I work up in the Beaufort area. Yeah. Not to kind of stop talking about Star Wars, but they're filming Civil War currently, Captain America: Civil War at Pinewood, in Atlanta. And one of the great things about them filming Civil War is obviously Spider-Man plays a crucial role in that. Yeah. And
it's not going to make as much money as Star Wars.
Definitely not gonna make as much money as Star Wars, but. Spider-Man plays a crucial role in that, and today there was a huge fucking announcement because they've been trying to cast Spider-Man now that Marvel is kind of working in conjunction with Sony and into integrating Spider-Man into that universe because he's so fucking crucial. And they announced that Tom Holland is going to be the new Spider-Man moving forward. I would greatly imagine that they haven't said it officially, but I would greatly imagine that he is going to, be in Civil War. Because they initially announced was July 28th of 2017. He's going to be in a standalone solo Spider-Man film. So I'm kind of interested to see where that's going to fit in.
I liked The Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't see the second one because I heard terrible things about it.
I didn't think it was bad. I mean, I didn't think it was great, but it wasn't as good as Part 1. But I thought Andrew Garfield done a good job as Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was okay.
I thought he was a shitty Peter Parker, but I thought he done a great Spider-Man.
So, spoilers for people who have not read the comics and know nothing about Civil War. Yeah. So, spoiler alert. Do you think in this movie they will kill Captain America?
God, yeah, we were talking about this. I don't know if they're gonna kill Captain America yet. I don't know if they're gonna kill him in Civil War or if they're gonna kill him in the Infinity Gauntlet. It is definitely gonna it has to happen. It has to happen for the story to make sense. Yeah. But I don't know if they're gonna. I would prefer that they kill him in Civil War, and kind of like we discussed, they take him, take him to Tahiti, as they said it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and bring him back like they brought back, Phil Coulson. That way. And then he can come back in Infinity, Part 2, and, stop Thanos, save the world. And then in the meantime, in Infinity, Part 1, have Bucky play, the role of Captain America as an interim. I think that would make more sense in storytelling. No, obviously, that's similar to what happened in the comics, but there was an Infinity Gauntlet right after Civil War, in the comics.
So you think... Well, I mean, I guess we know at this point that it's going to have to be Thanos that basically puts a stop to Tony Stark's totalitarian bullshit that he's been doing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going to fucking destroy them guys, dude. I would imagine it's going to be exactly like it was at the end of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is a great example. Part 1 and Part 2. Yeah. At the end of Part 1 of that, there's zero fucking hope, and like everybody is just done. Yeah. And I think that's what's going to happen in this, is everybody's going to be laid to fucking waste, and they're going to have to regroup, and then fucking Nick Fury's going to come in Part 2 and be like, hey, guess what, motherfuckers? Coulson isn't dead, and neither is Steve. We brought him back. We give him some fucking juice, and now he's back. And he's going to be a different Captain America. I think he's going to be a lot harder, because then he's going to have, You know, he's gonna have died. He's gonna have did his duty.
I'll give him a black costume.
That would be pretty fucking cool. Yeah, give him like a U.S. soldier costume.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that type of thing. And I have Captain America and Marvel Heroes, and I wanted to talk about that game for the gaming session.
All right.
Because that's what I've been playing recently.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it.
So yeah, there's going to be an Infinity Gauntlet event in this game. So
Right.
I've been playing Marvel Heroes recently, and I showed James just a minute of it earlier. And it is such a fun game. It's by these guys, David Brevik, who made Blizzard North.
Mm-hmm.
He founded it, and so he made Diablo and StarCraft.
Mm.
And then he got fired or whatever. Blizzard got rid of Blizzard North, and they turned it to the shit that they are now.
Right.
And so these guys went and they made their own company, and they were like, okay, we're going to basically make Diablo, but it's going to be Marvel superheroes. And that's what it is.
And it's like overhead, like Diablo.
Yeah, action game, but you level up and you get items, which you're thinking, okay, well that's weird. Yeah, superheroes, they really get items, but it works.
Right.
Because for Captain America, one of your items can be a photograph from World War II. It's not like a piece of equipment.
Sure.
It's just something that gives you a little bit more power. But the thing that's cool about it to me is in Marvel Heroes, it is action-packed. It's online only.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 48 characters in it that you can play right now.
Do you buy the game and you have to pay for a monthly service?
No, it's a completely free game. It's free-to-play model, so there is a lot of DLC and microtransactions because that's its model.
Right.
You have the whole game is open to you completely for free, and you can choose pretty much one hero to start with that you want.
Right.
Except for Dr. Doom, who just came out, so you can't choose Doom.
Right.
He costs $20. But yeah, so you can choose one. But if you're playing through the game, you're obviously going to want more heroes, and you're going to want more space to store gear, and you have to pay for that. And they have costumes, like I was showing James over here, and Iron Man. There's 12 costumes you can pick from there throughout Iron Man's history. And you're going to want one of the badass ones, like the Hulkbuster or, the original Iron Man Mark I suit and stuff like that. So that's where it kind of can nickel and dime you, but you don't have to.
Right.
Because in the game, there's a currency that drops called Eternity Splinters, and I guess they're Shards of Eternity or whatever. But you collect enough of them and you can turn them in for heroes. I just unlocked today Nightcrawler for free. Using those. So that's a really fun game. I'm going to be playing that all summer long. Because one of the cool things about the game is they do completely different, new events. Mm-hmm. Every day, every week, it's something new. You log in, you get a new thing. I got, Dancing Groot. The potted Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I'll have to show you that later. But he's kind of cool. He's a little companion that I have. I just logged in and got him. Or there's, next week there's going to be, I guess, an event where you have to fight Loki, and it's a whole event that lasts, there's special rewards. So that's the kind of stuff they do in that game. It is the best superhero game out there right now.
God damn, it sounds just like Superhero City I used to play.
Yeah.
Except it wasn't overhead, it was just a fighting game where basically you just leveled up your guy and just fought. But it had weekly things just like that, and then EA fucked it.
Yeah, and everyone's saying that Arkham Knight is the best superhero game right now. No, Arkham Knight is not.
What's up with Arkham Knight?
Well, I mean, you played the other Arkham games. Have you played Arkham Asylum, Arkham City? I
played Arkham Asylum. I'm halfway through it, but I haven't had a chance to finish it. So
Did you like it?
I really enjoyed what I was playing of Arkham Asylum. Yeah. Even though that was from 4 or 5 years ago. I try to wait till all the games have come out, that's going to come out, and then I'll just play them in succession. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to fucking wait, because I'm impatient as hell. But yeah, I watched Hunter play. Hunter played all of them. He hasn't played Arkham Knight yet. But I really enjoyed watching him play that game. So I wanted to play it myself, obviously, and try to find all the Riddler trophies and whatnot. But I really enjoyed it. But there's some shit going on with this one. What'd they do?
Yeah. So it came out for PC, Xbox, PS4.
Right.
The PC version has got people shitting the bed. Because it's locked at 30 frames per second. And it just makes me funny. Because if you know anything about PC gamers, these guys, like myself, don't put up with that shit at all.
That's why I'm not a PC gamer.
They've got to have it 60 frames per second, completely like maxed out, all the graphics and everything, and they're like losing their nuts over this.
Right.
So, I guess recently, and that we didn't talk about this in the last podcast because I think it happened afterward, but Steam, which is the huge online, the biggest online distribution center for games
right.
that there is by Valve, who did Half-Life. I'm just saying all this stuff for some of you non-gamers out there. They added a policy thanks to laws in the EU, the European Union, I guess, has demanded this. Now you can get a refund, no questions asked, for any game you play within what? Is it like the first 24 hours, 48 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours.
It's 2 hours, yeah.
But hey, I mean, you can try a game for an hour and you know whether it's bad or not.
Oh yeah.
So pretty much everybody that bought the PC version of Arkham Knight is getting their refund.
That is hilarious.
And the company is losing their minds.
See, this is why I don't PC game. Because I don't have to worry about that shit. Well, we were looking at it earlier, too, and you said something about a de novo DRM?
Yeah, it's got a, what is it, de novo? It's got some kind of DRM that I'm not too familiar with. I know what DRM is.
Right.
But basically what it does is lock down the game so you can't copy it, you can't distribute it.
Right.
But apparently that is part of the reason for the poor performance of the game on PC.
Okay.
So it's basically like chugging down your PC, trying to run like DRM checks while the game is running. And then there's no way to get rid of it, like it's built into the game. Like there's nothing you can do. So everyone's like getting a refund.
That is hilarious. And I think when you looked just a minute ago at the reviews on Steam, it was
671 negative reviews.
That is insane. So they're going to be fucking... See, this is a reason for you to buy an Xbox One or PS4.
Yeah.
This gives you good reason to do that, because we don't have to worry about that shit. You know, we just install the game, play it, and you're good.
I mean, it still has glitches and shit.
It still has glitches, but you don't have to worry about your shit getting fucked up.
The consoles, as they go along, are closer to PCs than they ever were before.
Yeah.
But see, here's what that sucks about the situation is, instead of looking at what's happened and saying, okay, maybe we as developers should make a better PC version.
Mm.
Instead, they're going to be like, oh, well, nobody buys games on PC.
Right.
So we're just going to not make them. You know, it's like completely the opposite of what they should do.
Right.
So it's going to have negative consequences.
Well, that's kind of, and I don't know if it would be a similar situation, but that's kind of like, like Nintendo only putting out certain games in Japan, and then, like Earthbound, coming out in the US and in Japan, and only Earthbound, 3? Mother 3, I think, is just coming out in Japan, and they won't bring it to US. Oh, well, they don't play Earthbound. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Earthbound is the most high-demand retro game.
So, yeah, I definitely could see that. Well, I'm interested to see how that shit's going to play out, because, what was it, Rocksteady that put out Arkham Knight? No, that's not right. I can't
remember that.
Whoever put it out, when that shit happens like that, it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, their CEO is going to apologize. Or something. There's going to be some repercussions.
I can see, like, some South Park-esque charter apology.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That would be the case if the consumer had no power in this case, but because of the refund thing, I think there's going to be some quick action about this.
Yeah. I think I was thinking about BP. Yeah, it was the BP oil spill that they were making fun of.
Yeah, I remember
and it was Charter. It was like rubbing their nipples. Oh, it's only 30 frames per second? Oh, tell me a little bit more about that. Your PC slowed down? That's funny as hell. That
is funny, but it is kind of like Nintendo at E3 basically not announcing any Wii U games.
Whoa.
Like, apparently they have a new console coming out, too. It's in development. Did you see about that?
No, but I'm kind of on the same page as a lot of the other people that I talk to and listen to. I mean, Nintendo consoles are typically good for 6 or 7 years, in my opinion. I'm sure that there's always going to be a console in development. Everybody's always thinking what's bigger, what's better, what is great about this, and what's everybody love, and what can we do better next time, and that kind of starts, what's coming next, that next generation.
And what they're doing next, apparently, is handheld games, which
we talked about this before,
and other people love. But it's true. Nintendo, the Wii U will be good forever for the 10 or 11 games that first-party games that Nintendo released for it, just like the Wii. You've got a couple of Zeldas, a couple Marios, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Soccer.
Right.
Mario, just like every Mario game known to man.
Yeah.
A couple of Zelda.
And then that kind of brings me to, kind of brings up the good point that those motherfuckers bitching about winners and losers at E3, like we had talked about, and a couple of people that we listened to and talked about as well.
Yeah.
The difference that I feel like between, Xbox and PS and Nintendo is there's not necessarily any winners or losers unless it's the fans. Xbox, they can provide, have a better showing, or they can present great new games, or so can PlayStation or Nintendo. But the thing about people bitching about Nintendo only doing one thing, or only not doing this, or not doing that, I think Nintendo is the one exception. Because there's very few games on Nintendo that doesn't have replayability. Nintendo is really good about putting shit out that you're gonna come back no matter what console it is. I can't name a single fucking console that Nintendo has ever put out that, oh, there's not a game on that I can't go back and play right fucking now and enjoy it just like I did the first time I played it.
Virtual Boy.
Fucking Wario Woods, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Or even Mario Tennis. Even the shit games are replayable. And I think that's kind of telling of Nintendo as a company. We've talked about before about how long they've been around. Yeah. And I think that kind of is telling of their future. Yeah, they feel like the future is handheld. They feel like the future is mobile gaming. But they're not denying their fan base. They're still giving them the games that they want and kind of expounding on that, even if it takes them a little while to develop them.
Well, for the most part, what we got at E3 for the Metroid, though, no Metroid.
No Metroid at all.
The Metroid we saw was like a multiplayer pinball game for the 3DS.
Which people were flipping the fuck out about.
Yeah, and that looked like shit, too. Like, you don't even play as Samus.
Yeah, oh.
Yeah, it's rough. And the Star Fox game looks like a 3DS game for real, dude. Like, it actually does kind of look like Star Fox 64.
Is it polygonal?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
It's like a Star Fox 6. No, the graphics are terrible. They're like worse than the GameCube level of that.
Wow.
So Nintendo, and we talked about this at one point with the Japanese gaming, how they're set in their ways. Back when the NES came out, probably not, I'm pulling the numbers out of my ass. Because I don't know, but I can only speculate that maybe 95% of all NES owners were kids between the age of 8 and 13, probably. Or 15. Now that's not the case anymore.
Right.
Now all those gamers are grown up, they remember Nintendo, and they want even the nostalgia of a new side-scrolling Metroid game.
Right.
Or they want, new Kid Icarus or Earthbound. They want to play the games.
Right.
Nintendo's not delivering what the most of their fan base really wants.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, and I hate that, but at the same time, man, I don't know. I still feel like Nintendo's always going to pull out with the games that you're definitely going to go back to, and Xbox and PS is always going to end up going, what can make me the most money right this second. Right. And right now, it's fucking like Call of Duty, and Battlefield and shit like that. And that's where the money's at.
And it's weird because games have plateaued.
Mm-hmm.
I think, for the most part, at E3, everything that we saw, your Call of Duties and those types of games, like the new Tomb Raider, looks amazing. Was it an Xbox exclusive, I think? I don't
think it's Xbox exclusive.
Or a PS4?
No, it definitely can't be PS4 exclusive. Because I played it on Xbox One.
But it's called The Tomb Raider, which is weird. The new one that's coming out.
Yeah.
It doesn't look... the graphics are great, but it doesn't really innovate beyond the Tomb Raider that we saw 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
Or 3 or 4 years before that.
Right.
Or even Tomb Raiders on PS2. And the new Drake Uncharted that's coming out, that doesn't look, it looks amazing, but it's not a big step up over the first one, which came out in 2006.
How many of those did you play? Did you play all those?
I played the first one.
I played the first one and the second one. I didn't get a chance to play the third one. I really like those games.
Those are great games.
Yeah. It was something different.
Yeah, but if you go back in time and look at the span of time between Super Mario World and Super Mario 64, the span of time is only 4 years.
Right.
And it's a complete universe of difference in how the game is played, how it looks,
Right.
like the type of like gaming it is. I think games have plateaued. I think we're not going to really see a whole lot of innovation in the future. Just incremental steps.
Yeah, and that's sad. Well, there definitely hasn't been small steps in the fucking prices of gaming, because that shit has fucking changed real quick.
Yeah, like Shenmue.
Yeah.
Which was what? Like I remember us. Did you
$20 game? Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you have a copy at one point?
Got the copy for Dreamcast 6 months ago. It was $20.
$20 complete with the manual. Now, when they announced Shenmue 3, looked on eBay at sold listings, $70, $80.
What the fuck, man?
I was thinking in my that's part of the reason why I just sold my Dreamcast, because I was thinking in the back of my mind, well, I kind of want to play Shenmue.
Right.
It's really the only game on Dreamcast I ever really wanted to play.
Right. Other than Sonic Adventure.
I didn't like it. I mean, I played it when I was a kid. I guess I was in high school at the time, but I still played it. But Shenmue was the standout AAA title.
Right.
That and Soul Calibur, maybe.
Right.
Now it's $80. It's unaffordable.
Do you think the because there was some other another announcements game wise, there was the Rare Collection it was announced.
Yeah, the Rare Collection.
Do you think the Rare Collection is going to cause the original console games to go up or go down?
Call it the Replay Collection.
Yeah.
I think. I don't really think so, because it's not HD. First of all,
Right.
Usually with a collection like that, people are expecting like HD remake.
Mm-hmm.
At least to upconvert to the high resolution graphics.
Sure.
Which it doesn't seem like it's doing that at all.
Right.
But you still get a lot of rare games like Conker's Bad Fur Day and Banjo-Kazooie and Killer Instinct and all kinds of shit like that.
Right, and then the lesser titles too that was on there too. There was RC Pro-Am and the RC Pro-Am 2 and other games like that as well. But we'll probably end up getting that game just so I don't have to have like the carts laying around, because I don't have any of those carts. Well, I have RC Pro-Am, but I mean, I don't really care to play Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie. I never really liked that game that much, so every copy I get, I always trade off or sell.
It's a great game, but I just can't bring myself back to it.
Right.
I think it's going to cause Conker Live and Reloaded to go up.
Why Live and Reloaded?
Because that one actually was an HD remake.
Right.
And that was the only HD remake of any Rare game that I can remember. Like, they had like the HD like grass and stuff, and updated all the graphics and everything, and got like updated sound, and so that's a pretty good version.
Yeah.
So I think that will go up, because people will get the new one and they'll be like, oh shit, well this game's fun.
Right.
And then they'll look and see that there was an HD version at one point, and they're like, and they're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
That's what I think could happen.
I just recently sold my copy of
I
Live
told
and
you
Reloaded.
not to. I warned you.
Well,
not
I don't see that happening. I mean, I agree with you on some sense, but I just don't. That game's just really not in fucking demand. Like, I think people are always going to go back to the original for 64 for that game.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just me. I mean, it could fucking go up tomorrow. Who the fuck knows? But I think it's always going to remain around that $40, $50 a complete range.
Yeah. Well, the original Conker is in demand, but GameStop has actually got it at a good price.
Yeah, they got it at $80.
Yeah, GameStop's announced their pricing. Their new online prices have just come out.
And they're not bad.
They're really not terrible.
They're not terrible.
We can't say, that they're amazing.
Right.
But they're not, I mean, they're on par with eBay, maybe.
Right, and they've got $60 for Top Loader.
Yeah.
Top Loader NES.
I'm sure those are going to sell out.
I've never seen them go for less than $90. Ever. So that's definitely a good price. They had... I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, they had Turtles 3 for $30. They had Super C for $30. Those titles that people want to play. They had Mega Man 6 for for $50. Mega Man 4 for $40. Right. So I mean, they have good prices, and I like the fact that you don't know if you're going to get a game or a game in a manual or a game in a box and a manual. You really could get a 100% complete game. The only catch to that is me and Hunter were perusing that website and looking for these games, and the games we want to buy are already sold out.
Yep.
Every fucking one of them.
Or they're listed, but they never had them to begin with.
Right.
Probably, I think that is the case. Like, they don't have Trombone.
Right.
Or they never did.
Well, I don't think they're going to take in super high-end games like that, though.
Well, that's true. IGN actually came out with an article this morning, listing the top 10 games, the highest priced games on GameStop's website, retro games. and 9 out of 10 were PS1 games.
That's funny. Probably like Grandia and...
Yeah, it was like Suikoden 2 was their highest priced game on the website, I think.
What was it?
It's like $99.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Which, I mean, it goes for like $120, so that's a good value.
Who would trade Suikoden 2 into GameStop, though?
See, and that's my thought is, if somebody brings in a 3-ring binder with like 200 PS1 games just loose in it, GameStop will pay for that.
Yeah.
So you could be getting a loose in a paper sleeve Suikoden 2.
Yeah.
That you paid $100 for.
And hopefully it has all the discs.
Yeah.
Hopefully
would be pissed.
Hopefully the fucking goobers at GameStop knows that Final Fantasy VII has like, 3 discs?
Yeah.
You know, and 9 has 4. Or, I don't remember what the discount is. But hopefully they know, they have the common sense to know that there is a number of discs, and it's not 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4. It's like disc 1, disc 2, disc 3.
But some of those, the top 10 priciest games, which were PS1 games, were decent. Like they had Mega Man Legends 2 was on their list.
Great game.
$69.99.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's sold out.
Sold out. Tales of Destiny 2, which I thought was very uncommon. They had $69.99 on it.
Was it sold out too?
I didn't see if it was sold out, but I know that I thought that game was like $100.
Right.
I could be wrong. But again, you don't know if you're getting the manual, the box.
Right. That's the crapshoot for me, man. There's no fucking way I would put that kind of money in it. Not knowing it's a fucking crap. Not on disc-based games. Yeah. I kind of agree with what you talked about before. I think the money is going to be in the Sega games. Because 90% of the people that had Sega games, had the cases to come with them. And if you're going to take a shot in the dark on something, take it on the Sega games. Because you found, Bloodlines, and you found Hyperstone Heist, and Contra Hardcore.
Right, those were on the site.
Priced decently.
They were. And the Sega games probably could come with the box.
Right.
They were the most likely, aside from like PS2, to come in the box.
Right.
Now, to be fair, if we're talking about like Suikoden, or Suikoden, however you pronounce it, or Tales of Destiny 2, the chances of getting one of those loose are very slim.
Right.
Very, very slim. Because the only people that would have ever bought a game like that would have been nerds that took care of their RPGs.
Right.
They're not just going to buy like off-road ATV or, just one of those crappy
or fucking
cool
WWF
borders.
SmackDown or some shit.
Yeah, WWF SmackDown, and it's going to be in a 3-ring binder.
Yeah.
So there is a good chance that you're going to be taken care of there. Now, there's a green label, black label. I would worry about that. Like, if you go in there and get Symphony of the Night for $39.99, probably it's going to be the green label.
Right.
And then you kind of, still decent, but the black label is really where the hot money is.
Right. Absolutely.
Does Hunter have the black label or the green label?
To Symphony of the Night?
Yeah.
No, he got green label. Just because, it's $5 more to get the black label, but I haven't seen the black label Symphony of the Night around here in a while.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
But not only that, he's a big Castlevania fan, but I wanted to make sure he liked it before we got him the black label to it. I know it's only just $5 and that's petty, but if he's just going to get it to sell, why get the black label?
But, speaking on what I just said about the loose games, didn't you find an ogre battle?
I did find an ogre battle, yeah. I forgot all about that shit. Found ogre battle. I've got to get it resurfaced, though. I think it's Tactics Ogre. I found a loose copy of Ogre Battle. I've got to get that shit resurfaced. Hunter loves those Ogre Battle games. And he had the one for N64, and then he had one for Game Boy, or Game Boy Advance, I think we picked up.
Yeah, all those games are uncommon.
Yeah, and then I found the loose one at the flea market. Also found Mountain Dew Xbox a while back.
Yeah, your Mountain Dew Xbox you've been working on.
That shit give me fits, man.
What's the story behind that one?
I done, basically the short version is I had some plumbing work that had to be done at my house. And guy come over to my house to do work, and took him back home because he didn't have a car. And young guy, but real fucking smart with like electricity and plumbing, just don't own a car. Gonna take him back home, and I was like, hey man, what do I owe you? And he's like, don't sweat it. And I was like, no, fuck that, man. I'm gonna fucking pay you something. And so we had this tool show. We bought this home from some people a couple years back, and they give us like their 2 buildings that had like full of tools and fishing rods and stuff like that. I'm not a tool guy. I've got like just what I need to get by, and I don't really need like a floor to ceiling craftsman fucking cabinet.
You don't need more power.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. So I said, you like tools, right? Because he's a big into that kind of shit. And he's like, yeah, I love tools, man. And he's my age. Or actually, he's younger than me. He's like 23, 24. And I was like, dude, I've got a fucking toolbox. So he said, if you won't take cash, then take these tools. I'm never going to use them. I give him this big-ass box of tools. It was like a Craftsman toolbox. It was like 4 or 5 levels deep.
Yeah.
And I said, you need to get it back home. We'll put it in my boot. We'll take it home. So we go to his house, and he's like, hey, man, you still, you and Hunter still do the video game things, right? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, well, I've got some games for you if you want them. So he gave me a whole bunch of Super Nintendo games, and it was good stuff. It was like, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and Rock and Roll Racing was in there. And it was a huge lot. And he also, I was going to the car, and he brings out a book bag, and he's like, hey, man, I forgot about these. And he had a Mountain Dew Xbox and a Wood Grain 2600 in the bag. So I was like, fucking all right, man. He's like, I don't know if either of these work, though. So I get the Mountain Dew Xbox home, and I've got all the hookups for it because we have an Xbox. I hook it up, and it's basically red ring. It will not fucking work. It won't read a disc, won't do anything. I was like, well,
and
fuck.
there's where the nightmare begins.
Yeah, so here's where the nightmare begins. So I make it a mission to take this thing apart, and it's like, okay, if it red rings, I don't know really what that means because it was like 1 or 2 different little lights lit up designating what it is, and I didn't want to Google it, so I was like, fuck it. I might can find another hard drive for this, or not a hard drive, but another disc reader. Maybe that's the problem. It's just not reading discs. And so I put I had another Xbox. I put the disc drive in it. Didn't work. I swapped the hard drives out with a working Xbox, and it would not work. I was like, I swapped out the disc drive. I swapped out the hard drive. There's literally nothing else but the fucking motherboard that it could possibly be.
The motherboard is a pain.
It's a pain, yeah. So I was like, all right, if it's the motherboard, then I'm gonna take the original Mountain Dew Xbox disk drive and the Mountain Dew Xbox hard drive, and I'm gonna put it in my working one. And then my working one stopped working, and I was like, holy fucking shit, everything's bad. Everything is fucking bad. So I originally, I got the Mountain Dew. I was like, I don't really want this Xbox. So I want to get it in working condition, and I want to sell it. But I didn't want to get rid of my personal Xbox. So over the course of 6 months, I tried to find a cheap-ass Xbox from like a yard sale or from a flea market.
We found a couple.
Paid shit for them, and they were shit. Like, none of them was always something fucking wrong with them. I finally got a fucking Xbox 2 weeks ago. And it escapes me now where I go. Oh yeah, a buddy of mine moved to Austin, and he had an Xbox in his closet. And he said, hey man, you can have anything in here, I just don't want to take it to Austin with me. And he had an Xbox in there. I was like, holy shit, does that fucking work? And he's like, yeah, it works fine. So I was like, alright, I'm going to take it home. And I tested it out, and it works perfectly. So I gutted the Mountain Dew Xbox. I put the good guts in it. And it's literally the same. The only thing different...
It's just the shell.
It's just the fucking shell. And so I swapped out the guts to it. Fired it up. It works beautifully. I was able to give it, take it to somewhere that they can get rid of it and they can move it because I can't, because I don't fucking care about shipping a 30-pound Xbox to somebody.
A beast.
Yeah, it's a fucking beast. And I ended up trading him this Mountain Dew Xbox, which goes for about $70, to $80 because it's dropped tremendously in the past 6 months. Somehow. And I swapped him for a fucking Color a Dinosaur. For NES, because I didn't have that, and I've never seen Color Dinosaur.
I made fun of you for that. I was like, God,
make fun of me.
Damn, why'd you get Color Dinosaur? It's not even a game.
It's not even a game, but it's one of those things that you don't see that shit. You don't see it in the fucking... I have literally never seen that game in my 34 years in the wild. Never seen it. This is the first time I've ever seen it in the store. I was like, fuck it. I don't see anything else in here that I want. Give me Color Dinosaur. I'll add it to the collection. Now I've got something to do when I've done something else.
But they did have, King of Kings, and they had some of those.
They had the Bible games, and I've only got one of those. I did want Spiritual Warfare. I haven't been able to get a copy of that yet.
They still had that one game at Second and Charles for years.
They also have $110 NESs, so I'm not going to buy that shit either. But yeah, so yeah, I got the Mountain Dew Xbox going, got me a copy of Color a Dinosaur. I'm very pleased because I really all I have in the Xbox is my time. I don't really have any money invested into it. I mean, a couple dollars for an Xbox here, a couple dollars for a bad Xbox there. But in reality, I don't really have anything but time into it.
Same with my Sega stuff that I took to the same store.
Mm.
I probably, I actually did... I did buy the Sega Master System on Nintendo Age.
Right.
I didn't pay retail. I paid like $40. And that was shit, which was a good deal.
Right.
But I never played any of the Sega stuff.
Sure.
I had a Genesis Model 1, which had the jail bars, which can be fixed by changing all the capacitors in it. And I even have the capacitors sitting over there.
Do you want to do that?
I have the full kit. That's like a 6-hour job.
Oh.
I'm not doing that.
That is monstrous.
And I had a Sega CD and a Dreamcast and a Master System. Never played any of them.
Right.
I guess maybe the Genesis I played the most, because there's some fun games on Genesis.
Right.
Like Mortal Kombat.
Right.
The best version.
Yeah, the best version of Mortal Kombat, yeah.
Which actually had the blood, unlike the Super Nintendo version, which had the sweat.
Right.
Do you even remember that?
I do remember, and if I remember correctly, there were... I don't recall if it were the code worked on Super Nintendo, but I know obviously the Genesis had the ABACABB blood code. But I don't recall if the Genesis had the down, up, left, left, A, right, down. And that was another code that you put in at title screen. And you know how on the main title screen they had like the scrolling faces?
Right.
The only time the dullard code, as I would call it, would work is when Johnny Cage's face was like on that screen. And that shit was fast. Like when you put in codes back in the day, you had to put that fucking shit in quick, for it to work. And I don't recall if it worked on Super Nintendo or not.
It did not.
It was definitely extra codes, but I don't remember specifically the sweat.
Dude, there was always that neighborhood kid rumor.
Mm-hmm.
That rumor you heard in like middle school or elementary school, even for me.
Right.
Like 5th grade. For Mortal Kombat. Oh, dude, for Super Nintendo, you can get the blood.
Right.
And I was like, there was so many convoluted bullshit ways that people claimed. Swore like on a stack of Bibles that would give you the blood code for Super Nintendo. Like I remember specifically there was one where if you pressed select 16 times on the title screen and then like held some combination of buttons, like it would do it. And of course it was bullshit. It didn't work.
Right.
And there was like rumors about how to play as Goro.
I remember the Goro thing. Yeah.
Yep. And there was rumors about how to play as Shang Tsung.
Right.
Not just characters in the game, but people started rumors for Mortal Kombat now for how to play as like, I don't know, like Scottie Pippen or like the Terminator, like complete bullshit.
I think what fueled that for Mortal Kombat is when you actually got to fight Reptile, which was a fucking feat on that game.
Reptile was a genuine secret.
Yeah, it was a genuine secret. But in the background behind the moon, occasionally you would see something fucking wonky, like a Santa sleigh, or something else fly by the moon. And I think that was just enough to like teeter-totter people over the edge of this might be legit. Like he might not be bullshitting me. I might be able to actually play Shang Tsung because who the fuck would have thought Santa Claus's sleigh would be in a fucking fighting game with blood and you rip people's head off?
Yeah.
So this might be possible. One of the rumors that I had heard about Mortal Kombat, and I didn't find out till 15 years later, after, and I've yet to this day to do it, is the Red Sonja battle. And it's only on for Mortal Kombat 1, and if I remember correctly, it only works one way, and it's a glitch.
Yeah, it's a glitch. It's not a real code.
It's not a code, but it's a glitch, and it's where Sonja is right there underneath the question block, or right above the question block, or right below it, and you can only do it with like 1 or 2 characters because that's the randomness of it, is Sonja only does this one. But you have to do it just right, and basically instead of fighting Reptile, you fight Sonja, except she is a red color instead in the bottom of the pit. And I heard it is insanely hard, because it's already hard enough to beat Sonja on fucking Mortal Kombat, because she was probably the hardest character in that game, but to beat her double flawless and a fucking fatality on the pit, no, fuck that, man. Without holding block.
For a game that's not even, the controls aren't even that good.
Yeah.
But Midway, who made Mortal Kombat, and I guess Acclaim, took advantage of that for their next games.
Yeah.
Like NBA Jam.
Yeah.
They knew about that everyone had all these rumors about their shit.
Right.
So they put in like fucking 50 codes for NBA Jam.
Bill Clinton?
There was a Bill Clinton. You could play as like the mascots. You could play as like Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
I was going to ask you, could you really play it as Sub-Zero?
You really could on the Genesis version, because Nintendo doesn't like Mortal Kombat back in the day.
Right.
Because of the violence.
What are some rumors that Obviously we've heard some shitty rumors of games and shit that took place when you grow up, that we just couldn't fucking do. Like that, for example. Did you ever hear any rumors that actually turned out to be true?
Man, that's a good question. I vaguely remember that there was a rumor in Super Metroid that turned out to be true, where... Have you ever played through Super Metroid?
Not through Super Metroid. I only played through Metroid.
Yeah. So in Super Metroid, at one point in the game, kind of early in the game, there are these little creatures that are friendly. And they're like the only friendly creatures in the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
But they teach you how to do the wall jump.
Right.
And it takes like an hour for you to figure it out
Sure.
when you're a kid, because it's really hard.
Yeah.
I think Hunter mentioned something about...
Yeah, he says the hardest part of that game.
Yeah, so they're the only friendly creatures in the game. There's like these little rabbits.
Right.
That kind of do the wall jump. And like, first of all, they're a secret in and of themselves to find and learn the wall jump.
Okay.
If you don't discover that little area, you would never know that the wall jump existed at all.
Holy shit. And you can't do the wall jump unless you learn it from the rabbits?
Well, no, they kind of show you that you can do it.
Uh-huh.
They don't, there's no instruction for you to... So that's why it takes an hour.
Oh, God.
Because, like, you fall down this huge pit. It's like, you cannot escape this pit unless you do the wall jump.
Wow.
So, the rabbits do the wall jump just to demonstrate it.
Right.
On their creatures. But they obviously don't tell you how to do it.
Right.
So they kind of trust you to, like, what the hell are they doing?
Right.
How do I get out of this pit?
Right.
And then you start experimenting as a player, and eventually, after like an hour,
you
figure it out.
Man, see, that it's shit like that kind of makes me miss like the old school ways of gaming. There's nothing like that I'm aware of in games. The closest thing that I can think of where it genuinely you have to learn in game how to find stuff is there was an achievement. I think they still do it with Halo. To find all the skulls hidden in these maps. Some of the skulls you can only locate when you're in Forge mode. And that is fucking retarded because most people are only and it's something that you just have to actively go after and look for, and they reward you. Obviously it's just an achievement, but they reward you for that. One cool rumor, what was, I hadn't lost it when you said that.
Wait a second, let me finish the Super Metroid.
All right, tell you
So there was the rabbits and the little creatures who do the wall jump, and that's kind of early in the game.
Okay.
So there was a rumor going around that there was a secret ending to Super Metroid.
Oh wait, the rabbits themselves aren't the rumor?
No.
So there were fucking really rabbits in Super Metroid?
Yes.
What the
That's
fuck?
where you learn the wall jump.
Okay, alright, I'm with you.
No, but that was a secret. It was a rumor in and of itself.
Alright.
But it wasn't as big a secret as this.
Okay.
So at the end of the game, there was a rumor that there was something you could do to get a special ending in the game. Because you remember in the first Metroid how if you beat it in a certain time period, you get Samus without her suit on.
Sure.
That's famous.
Right.
And you kind of do that in Super Metroid as well. It has the same mechanic, but there's something extra you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anyone figured this out on their own. It took Nintendo power to print this shit for people to figure it out.
Right.
Kids. At the end of the game, after you kill Mother Brain, and it's doing the detonation, like the whole planet is counting down to explode.
Right.
So you only have like 2 minutes to escape.
Right.
You have to go through pretty much the whole final area of the game and all the way out through the first areas of the game and out the exit to your ship. Because your ship is there the whole time.
Sure.
So you have to make it to the ship before the planet explodes. Most people are worried about the timer. And so they're trying to get to the ship as fast as possible so they don't lose the game instantly.
Right.
So they can actually beat it. If you stop your course and go back down the hole where the rabbits were.
Right.
You go down in there and they're there and they're trying to get out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and there's like some rubble blocking the exit. You shoot the rubble away and the creatures escape.
Okay.
Like, no shit, this is like something you'd never, ever know about.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to figure it. So the creatures escape, and then you, of course, have to do the wall jump to get back out.
Right.
And then you get to your ship, and if you've done that in time, you get the ending. And as the planet is exploding, well, you normally don't see this in the ending to the game, you see a little spaceship escape off the side.
Oh shit!
So the little creatures that teach you the wall jump get out. That's a major secret.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Like, I've never heard of that before. That's insane.
Yeah.
Today I learned.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing. Like, you'll have to go home and one of these days and get Hunter to figure it out.
I'll have to ask Hunter if he did the special ending, or if he might not even know about it. Well, I imagine as much as he plays those kind of games, I imagine he knows about, or if he doesn't, he listens to us, so he knows about it now.
But see, you can't even get it until if you don't meet the rabbits or the creatures the first time around.
Right.
Then you don't get a chance to save them.
Is there a designation at what point in the game you have to go to the rabbits?
No.
So you can go really at any point.
Right, right.
On your way to fight Mother Brain, you go down there to learn the wall jump with the rabbits, and you go fight.
Because the wall jump is completely optional anyway.
Right.
You can always just use the ice beam to freeze enemies and use them as platforms.
Right.
But with the wall jump, you can just skip a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I think probably the biggest rumor that I had heard growing up was back in the early 90s with Mario, because Mario really was a fucking hard game, and if you were good at Mario Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
And if you were good at Mario, you could beat it really quickly and use the warp zones. You didn't have to. The real game players played it, 1-1 to 8-4 and beat it straight through without using any, skips or whatever. But fuck that. Because fuck level 5, man, and level 6 too. But there were the two rumors that I did hear that turned out to be true, and one was the negative level, the infinite level that you could only get to from 1-2 by glitch jumping over the pipe.
I remember that.
And then the other one was the 100 lives that you got on level, I think it was 2-1 or 2-3, where the turtle shell, you just jump on repeatedly at the top of the stairs, and you stop and start. And once you do that in the game, once you hit a turtle shell, it's like, it'll kill Goombas, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think after the 5th one, each additional one is an extra life. And if you jump on the turtle shell, if you just keep jumping on it, you start him, doing his little back and forth against the pyramid.
Yeah.
And if you stop him and keep doing it, you could get 100 extra lives. So my problem was I couldn't fucking do that jump. I couldn't jump and hit it every time. He'd always hit me, or he'd go under me or something. So I've never been able to do that. And I thought it was complete bullshit. And then I found out that no, you actually can fucking do this shit. And I seen him. So it was a YouTube video or some shit that I was watching. I seen somebody do that. On the same, the same guy, I actually was doing the -1, Infinite Water World, and I thought that was real cool. But that would probably have been mine, but one that I never was able to do. What was the bullshit rumor, the most outlandish bullshit rumor you ever heard that obviously was fake?
Oh my god, man, that's kind of hard to think about right now. Obviously we talked about Mortal Kombat, so there were definitely some bullshit rumors on that. But I think the most outlandish rumor I've ever heard was the nudity code for Tomb Raider.
I swear to God, I was thinking the same thing.
You were thinking the same thing?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Come on.
Yeah, and I love those Tomb Raider games. And I don't know why, her cone tits is who the fuck wants to see those cone tits? With a skin. Who wants to fucking look at that? But yeah, that would probably have done it for me too. I think my buddy and yours too, John, that owns the Game Pit down at the J&J.
Yeah.
He was telling me about a rumor about one of the Pokemon games where there was when the yellow and blue and red and all that come out at one point in time. Someone had figured out a way to Photoshop and said, hey, the new Pokemon game is coming out, and you can get this exclusive Pokemon on this game by doing this in these previous games, and they had Photoshopped other Pokemons in, and or I want to say Photoshop. I'm not sure what they did back. It might have been Photoshop, but they had done that, and every fucking body and their brother apparently was trying to do this shit, and you had to beat the Elite Four 100, some ridiculous fucking number of times, like the 16 select buttons in Mortal Kombat. You have to beat the Elite Four 100 times, and then you have to go back to Professor Oak and do this, and he'll give you this special Pokemon that you can use and move over to this new game when they come out. It's who the fuck sits around and comes up with this shit,
I don't know, there is some clever things that people have done, like the South Park pilot video file in the Tiger Woods.
Oh, yeah.
I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
So, I think it's Tiger Woods 97, maybe for the PS1, hidden on the disc, which you can only access if you put it in a PC.
Right.
Because the PlayStation won't see it, is the original, like, pilot episode of South Park with Santa Claus and Jesus.
Wow.
That's like the 10-minute thing. And of course it's really offensive.
Sure.
For 1996 or whatever it
right.
is. So, I guess maybe some kids found it through Game Genie or something.
Mm.
My parents complained and they pulled, like, all future versions of that game did not have it.
Right.
So, if you actually find one of the originals, it's kind of a minor collector's item.
Huh. So anybody out there that's got a copy of that game and knows what he's talking about, hit me up, because I would definitely want to see this.
It's not like stadium events or anything,
sure.
But, you know, it's still kind of a curiosity to have.
Right.
Out there. And dude, there was even some secret levels like in Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the freaking Wolfenstein level in Doom 2?
I don't think I played Doom 2. I think I played Doom 1, and then I jumped to Ultimate Doom.
I thought you were a huge fan of Doom.
I don't want to say huge fan. I'm definitely a fan of Doom, and I'm definitely a fan of the PC version of Doom. I do not like the fucking console ports, and I'm a console gamer, but
I've played every console port that there is, and they all suck.
But I remember playing the original Doom, and then Ultimate Doom, and that's the only games. After I tried playing Doom 3 for Xbox.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of enjoyed that a little bit.
I kind of liked Doom 3.
But those are the only ones. I've never played Doom 2.
When did Doom 3 come out? 2003?
At least 2003.
So it's been like 12 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
That makes me feel old.
Wait, have 2 Xbox consoles come out in 12 years?
Yep.
Wow. That definitely makes me feel old then.
In Doom 3, I remember at the time, the graphics were mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Probably not as much on the Xbox.
It was beautiful, man.
I was a PC gamer.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, I bought, like a $400 video card just to play Doom 3 because PC Master Race.
Did you learn your lesson, though? You're going to switch to consoles now that Arkham Knight's fucking being janky, right?
You know, I thought about that, but I keep thinking in the back of my head that Red Ring of Death, that's what stopped me from getting an Xbox 360 or a PS3. And I'm glad, because every single person I know that's ever owned a 360 has Red Ring to Death.
You know, knock on wood, except one. I've never had one that went red ring.
You've never had one?
No, never had a 360 that went red ring. Matter of fact, I still have my 360 Slim. Now, knock on wood, the fucker could red ring tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I've had that thing. I bought it. Matter of fact, I bought it used. I had a white model. I had the white model, the fat white one that first come out. Now, it had the disc tray error. I bought it brand new, got a disc tray error. Which was a pain in the ass, but it was tolerable to deal with because all you had to do was just take the top off and move the laser back to its original seated position, and it would read the disc. And all it basically was is if you did not like close the disc tray so that the laser would reset, and you just mashed the power button, the laser would get stuck in the reading position rather than in the beginning position.
Microsoft.
It's a fucking pain in the ass, yeah, but all you had to do was reset it and it would work. Now, the black one that I've had, I bought it used from GameStop, pre-owned. Never had any problems with it, like nothing at all.
Microsoft claims there's only like a 2% Red Ring of Death. I do not believe that.
I don't know, man. I've only known one person personally that ever had problems with red ring.
My buddy Matt Hinkle has 4 red ringed.
What the fuck?
4.
Wow.
On the 4th time, he sent it back under warranty. They said, you know what, we're not going to fix it. We're just going to send you a brand new one in the box. And that's what they did. And the one he's had that was brand new in the box has worked since then. But I bring that up because, Doom 4 is coming out on the Xbox One, PS4, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
I'll definitely get it for Xbox One.
And on the PC. And I am pissed at that game.
Why?
Because I'm a huge... If there ever was a Doom fan, just like you're a fan of Evil Dead and Duke Nukem.
And Kevin Smith.
I'm a fan of Doom.
Right.
When I was a kid, I wanted to play Doom so badly that I, for Christmas, got a 32X.
Holy shit.
Just to play Doom. That's the only game I played on.
Right.
And it was a piece of shit.
Didn't you recently get that game again?
Not for 32. I thought about it. They had it at the closing sale for the game store.
Yeah, the shit store.
For U-Game.
Yeah.
Fuck you. But I didn't buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking shit about that game because they talk shit about people behind their backs, and I don't support a business that talks about their patrons behind their back.
But Doom 4 had a big presentation at E3. It was like the first thing that Bethesda showed or whatever. And the game looks like Doom 3.
Mm-hmm.
I know you probably haven't seen the trailer yet.
No, not yet.
So you'll probably see them, oh, it's not that bad. But to me, a huge Doom fan, I played the last Wolfenstein that came out, The New Order.
Yeah. How was that?
That was good.
That's on Xbox One too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. But Doom has always been about, like, completely revolutionizing, like, shooting games and, horror games and the graphics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Doom 1 did that. Doom 2 and Doom 3, they did that.
Right.
Doom 4 looks like a previous generation game.
So it looks like it belongs on 360.
Yeah, it looks like it's using the Doom 3 engine.
Interesting.
Or maybe the Wolfenstein New Order engine, but even not that good.
Right.
It does not look good. I don't know what they're doing. And they've been working on the game for like 8 years. So they've fucked up.
Do you think that maybe that Doom might suffer from Duke Nukem syndrome? Duke Nukem Forever syndrome?
I think it might be where the technology is progressing too quickly, faster than their development cycle. So every time they get close to finishing the game, the graphics are outdated and they have to go back and update it.
Right.
So that might be part of the reason why, but that's why I don't think Half-Life 3 will ever be announced.
Yeah.
Because I think they're stuck in that cycle where they're trying to innovate, but they can't because they can never make any headway against the rest of the market.
Well, if motherfucker would just throw a little bit of money at it, I mean, it would fix that problem. I mean, really, all they need is they have the talent to make that game. If they really want to make that fucking game, they have the talent to make the game. Just bring the fucking people on, put it, and just fucking make the game.
Yeah.
But no, they want to make another Kung Fu Panda game or another fucking Lego game, which Lego Jurassic Park is really good, by the way. But they want to make bullshit games like that, or just more bullshit, more Call of Duty games. Who the fuck needs another Call of Duty? Rather than putting investing money in a game that would actually be, people are actually asking for this game. It'll sell like fucking Bloodstains did, or Bloodstained, and what was the other Kickstarter that recently come out that set records on there?
There was a Shenmue 3, there was the Bloodstained, and then there was the Ukulele. The
Ukulele, yeah, all three of those games. I mean, it can be done, if there's a demand for it, but I just think people are...
Yeah, it blows my mind that a huge company with hundreds of millions of dollars dumping money into one of the cornerstone franchises of gaming, which is Doom.
Right.
There's Doom, Quake, and Duke Nukem, and Half-Life, and Unreal, and those are like the 5, maybe Unreal not so much, because it kind of fell off.
Right.
But when you think about shooting games, people don't even think about Call of Duty, like, first-person shooter, Doom.
Right.
For them to dump all that time and money into that and come out with a game that looks muddy, it's brown, every level they showed was brown, every enemy was brown, the guns were brown, everything looked crappy. The gameplay looked slow and sluggish. It looked like a mod.
Really?
Yeah, it really pissed me off a little bit, because I'm like, wait a minute, I've waited 12 years for Doom 4, and this is what we get.
The only thing that would probably make that worse is if they sold it to EA and they put like a Battlefield skin on it or some shit.
They probably will. And there are fatalities in the game that you can do, which are nothing new. We've seen those in other first-person shooters before. Right. Like the last Aliens vs. Predator game had it, where you get up close and you do like a melee move and like you rip their head off or something.
Right. Well, I heard Alien was Isolation. I heard Alien Isolation was phenomenal.
Yeah. So that one's
I haven't actually played that yet.
I'm waiting until the Halloween season to play that, because I just don't play like horror games during the summertime.
Right.
Right now, summertime for me is like superheroes and stuff like that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Do you even have seasons for games?
No. Well, I mean, with me and the wife, buying a home, I really haven't had much time to play games lately. But haven't done a lot of shopping for games. I made Hunter a bet to take a sugar challenge, and if he beats me on this bet, I've got to buy him a complete in-box copy of Rule of Rose. So I haven't told you about that, but I have full confidence in my son that he can do it. And basically, the short of it is, Kevin Smith was talking about on one of his recent, podcasts that I was, listening to, because I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, is that he had stopped, his sugar intake or dramatically reduced it, and he lost like 80 pounds. And I was talking about this casually with someone, and Hunter overheard it, and he was like, "Oh man, I can do that." And Hunter's 13, and I was like, "Dude, it's a lot harder than you think to just drop sugar from your diet. Like, sugar is literally in everything, literally everything. Sugar is like Comcast is Satan.
Yeah.
So is sugar. It's in everything.
Yeah.
Comcast. So he says I can do that, and I was like, well, no, son, you cannot do that. Like I cannot like keep up with your sugar like on that level because I'm not home very much because of my job, and I can trust him, to adhere to something. And I was like, okay, let's make rules to this. If you want to do it, I was like, I'll tell you what, you've been wanting Rule of Rose for your birthday. I'll get you Rule of Rose just to get it for you. We'll get you something else for your birthday.
And we're talking now strictly about like fructose or fake. Not like fruit. We're not like a banana.
Oh no! If it's naturally like sugary, like if it has, that is definitely okay. Because, I mean, let's be entirely honest here. I mean, if I'm talking about like processed sugars, I'm talking I'm talking soft drinks. I'm talking anything that would have an abnormally higher amount of sugar. Like there's no sweets at all. Like no
cereal,
candy. So here's my
bread.
tolerance level with this sugar thing for him because. He eats healthy cereals. He eats like cornflakes, not the fucking Frosted. He eats cornflakes. He eats like Honey Bunches of Oats. He eats things that have grains in them, like cereal that is a lot better for you than just a shitty sugar cereal. So
food pyramid.
I told him like the threshold for this is 5 grams of sugar. This allows him to have a bowl of cereal if he wants to, a bowl of decent cereal. It allows him to have milk, because of the dairy product. With his cereal, and I'm not going to completely cut his sugar intake out because it's really fucking hard to do something like that. But he's what's the day? The 23rd, 24th.
Right.
He's 23 days into this motherfucker, and like he has not drank any type of like soft drink like that. The only soft drink that he has drunk has been Coke Zero, which has 0 sugar. Period.
Has he lost any weight?
I don't know. I haven't checked his weight. But it's either that or water. That's the only thing he drinks. The only thing that he eats is things with less than 3 to 5 grams of sugar or less. If it's more than that, he doesn't eat it. Now he's a huge vegetable guy, and I'm completely behind this because I mean it's healthy, number one, but number two, he's got a goal. He's shooting for something. He wants that fucking game, and he's been talking about it for 6 months. And you're goddamn right. I'm gonna buy him that game if he does this. And so far, his other brother, Nick, has been helping him, keep to that. And he hasn't struggled. So he's been doing that, and I really haven't had times to even play games because of the house buy.
Yeah, well, I'm not a health nut by any means.
No.
I've gained weight. But I really, this isn't a conspiracy thing. But I think in 20 years, we're going to look back and realize that the sugar that we've been putting in everything is probably one of the biggest mistakes that Western civilization has ever fucking done.
It's only fucking the Western civilization that does it, man.
Yeah.
It's only, that's why the U.S. is so fucking fat.
Like,
we're getting like political now.
No, I mean, there's so much evidence emerging out there that sugar alone causes all our problems.
Right.
Like cancer and diabetes and obesity, heart disease.
People fucking making Reese cakes.
Yeah. Like I think it's going to end up being a huge health disaster, and people are going to eventually realize it, and it's going to have to go down.
I don't think people care. I think people, as long as they're like me, as long as I get my beer, I don't care.
Yeah.
And
that leads us to our beer of the week.
Beer of the week.
All right, so I feel like kind of a bum because we don't have anything special this week.
No.
But we have something that uncles buy this drink. Uncles who are in their 50s, and I buy it. J.W. Dundee's Honey Brown. $5.99 a 6-pack, $4.99 sometimes if you get it on sale. I think it's a good drinkable beer. It says it's made with honey. I'm not going to say that it's a liar, but I do taste maybe a little sweetness.
There's definitely a touch of honey in this shit, man. I don't know if it's real honey. It might be artificial.
And J.W. Dundee's doesn't make a bad beer.
No, it's good. It's good beer.
You can get a craft pack of the J.W. Dundee's craft pack is what it's called.
Right.
And it's a 12-pack. It has 3 of each of their beers.
Right.
That's a good pack. So we're drinking the Honey Brown. If you are tired of Yingling or drink it too much, or but even Michelob or Bud or whatever, grab one of these.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be disappointed because it's pretty mild and inoffensive.
Yeah,
so
it's not heavy.
That's our beer of the week.
Yeah, and then next week too with the beers is I'm big on local regardless, local anything really.
Yeah.
And there's a local brew that I really want to fucking talk about that I've been drinking like water lately, and so I'm definitely going to promote the local breweries, which I super support. Any type of local. But then also we are going to have a special guest here with us. If I just got to schedule it with him, my good friend Val, who recently opened up the store Retro Age at the Georgia Square Mall. I've got to know very well over the past 2 months and is doing outstanding here in Athens. He's got a great selection of video games. We bought a lot of good shit. Castlevania Bloodlines, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2. He's had in there. He's got complete inbox Chrono Triggers, Mario RPGs, Persona: The Last Revelation.
Yeah.
Conquer had a complete inbox sealed new Conker's Bad Fur Day. He's got good shit in there, and he's got decent prices. Unlike other video game companies around here that's charging $90 to $110 for NESs, he's charging $50, $60.
Right.
What the going rate for them are. So he's a great guy. I'm interested to hear his story and where he's from. And hear a little bit more about what he knows about video games too, because he genuinely not only does he enjoy games, but he loves beer, and that's right up my alley too.
Yep. So looking forward to that. James will probably be spearheading that one, and so that's pretty much all we've got for the week. And but we're the console killers.
That's it, and we know what we're talking about.
We know what we're talking about. So thanks for listening, guys, and have a good one.